We are awaiting word of a potential deal with Iran tied to shipping lanes in the Strait of Hormuz. The Trump administration says it could come as soon as today, but the president is still keeping military options, he says, on the table.
Well, if they back out again, they're going to get hit really hard. You know, they know that. They understand that. I have no choice. They can't have a nuclear weapon. It's very simple.
Let's bring in now Fox News contributor Mike Pompeo, a former Secretary of State and former CIA director. Mr. Secretary, welcome to you. Welcome back to the program. I just want to point out that there seems to be a lot of growing optimism right now. We saw it yesterday. We saw it again today in the stock market and the energy market. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, record high again today, up another 438 points. Those oil prices are dropping on hopes of a deal. Oil now is firmly back below $75 a barrel, down another almost 2% today. So is this optimism that we are seeing on a potential deal warranted from your view?
Sandra, it's great to be with you. My take on this is we better see what's in it. And then second, Sandra, you and I have now lived this. I lived it when I was Secretary of State. Every single deal the Iranians have ever signed up on, whether it was the JCPOA or the MOU with President Trump, they've walked away from. They've gone on and killed more Americans. There's a very little reason to expect that whatever particular arrangements they now think they're coming to an agreement on, that the Iranians will actually honor that for any extended period of time. They don't want to open the strait without charging a toll. That takes away all their leverage. It will deny them what it is they really want. They want to go build a nuclear weapon, something President Trump has said can't happen. And so we'll have to see what's in the agreement. We'll have to see what the Iranians actually commit to. But rather than the piece of paper, we should look at the IRGC's actions on the ground. These are the world's largest state sponsor of terror. There's no reason to think they've turned over a new leaf.
And we know that President Trump has said and made very clear the goal is to open back up that strait and for Iran to never have a nuclear weapon. Here he was yesterday tying this all together with gas prices. Listen.
They had an all-day negotiation today, and it looks like things are very good. And if that happens where the strait is opened up, they'll never have a nuclear weapon. But if the strait opens up, and it's partially opened anyway, and as you know, we control the strait totally through the blockade. But if we have no friction, then oil will go down to, I think it'll go down to $2.50 a gallon.
Which is a far cry from where we are today. Right now, gasoline prices, national average AAA, we're back to $4.08 a gallon. So the president is hopeful that once a deal is reached, we're going to see those prices come down and come down in a big way. But Mr. Secretary, how much more room is there here? I mean, the president's saying maybe there's a deal today. Maybe there's not. Maybe we go on another few days. Maybe we go on another week. Maybe Iran says they have a deal and then they break that deal. How much more tolerance do you think there is to finally get to a point where we can get back to life here and get those energy prices back down and make the American people happy?
Sandra, my sense is the best way to get these energy prices down is to continue to put pressure on the Iranian regime. I don't see a negotiated solution where the IRGC says we're not going to go kill 40,000 more of our own people. We're not going to continue to threaten Israel. We're not going to tell the Houthis, who fired just in the last 24 hours, while these negotiations are going on, with Iranian weapons and Iranian money fired to close the other strait, the Bab el-Mandeb. And so I think that the task to get energy prices low is to actually do what President Trump talked about at the very beginning, get the regime to a place where they ultimately capitulate in a way that delivers a long-term low set of energy where product, not just crude oil, natural gas, fertilizer, all the things that move through the Strait of Hormuz can do so without a regime that has the leverage to shut it down at any moment.
We also have to wonder what the perspective is of Iran, of course, and the Wall Street Journal does exactly that with this piece on Iran staking everything on controlling the Strait of Hormuz. Centering strategy on controlling the strait is an extraordinary gamble. It assumes Trump will prefer a messy, volatile stalemate over an all-out war. In playing this card so aggressively, Tehran risks miscalculating Washington's breaking point and threatening its own economic survival. And we know that their economy has been extremely hard hit through all of this, and perhaps President Trump has played his cards exactly right here.
There's no doubt the Epic Fury, Midnight Hammer, all the work, the economic pressure that's been put on the Iranian regime has brought them to a different place than they are today. And the question is, when will they reach the point where they're prepared to actually capitulate? I hope that we find ourselves there today. I don't think we're at that point. You can see this too. You can see this in a broad range of conflicts. The Chinese are watching, the Russians are watching, everyone's seeing whether the West is prepared to protect Western civilization. I am confident President Trump understands that as well.
Got it. Mr. Secretary, always great to have you on. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.